Back online. Hey everybody, what's going on? BraedenV, Chasing Planes podcast, episode 7. A little windy out. It's probably going to drop down a little bit pretty soon, but my camera falls over. Um, we'll know that's a good time to shut her down, maybe. It's beautiful out right now. Enjoying a seltzer, enjoying a fizzy seltzer. There you go. A beautiful day. What's up, Spivvy? What's going on, buddy? Um, just doing a little live chat, talk a bit about what's been going on lately with the music and stuff like that. I'm going to talk a bit about the show in July, a bit about the show in August. I got a dog harassing me over here, so there he is. I don't know if you can see him. I don't know if you can see the dog. There he is. He's chilling. He's chilling. He wants me to play fetch, but we were playing for quite a while. I can't play all day with the damn guy, but he's got the energy. He just wants to do it all the time. He's like addicted to it. He keeps dropping his toy in front of me and stuff, like, yo, throw it, bro. I'm like, bitch. Trying to do an IG live here. Sub DNR, what's going on, Dylan? Dylan and Spiv up in the chat. What's going on? Shout out to you guys, my official brand sponsors, right? Fortune favors the fierce. I got that right? Fortune favors the fierce, yeah. I think so. Anyways, I got hair on my face, man. Holy fuck. So yeah, we got a July 1st show. I'm really excited about that, actually. That'll be cool. Get to do a set. The Fortune Auto show is a big tease, I keep saying. Going up, Spivvy would know, going up on set for a verse is kind of shit. I mean, it's fun, obviously, or whatever, but you're just getting started or whatever. It's way better when you get, like, a bit of time or whatever to just do your thing and kind of feel the crowd out yourself and obviously play your own songs and shit in whatever order or set list you'd like. I'm considering doing a medley for my show on August 6th where I'll blend a couple of my songs together, probably. I'm really looking forward to debuting Nothing Left live. Rehearsed it a few times, and that song's good to go pretty much for live stuff. So I'm really excited for that. I really am excited about Nothing Left in general because Nothing Left, my new song, by the way, you can pre-order it or pre-save it. Links are available on my Instagram page, and there's a preview link up on my SoundCloud and on my YouTube. So go to whichever channel you like. What's up, Nick? Welcome, buddy. I'll have a graphic I'll send your way pretty soon, my guy. I was working on it earlier there. I just didn't get around to finishing it. Anyways, with Nothing Left, I'm really excited to get that song out because I'm like actually singing on it a lot, more than in a lot of my other songs, and the rap verse in it. Like, I was just listening to the rap verse that I did for it the other night because I hadn't listened to it since, I don't know, maybe what's going on, buddy? Beautiful weather. Hopefully you're enjoying it a bit. I've got a drink. I'm having a busy seltzer early in the day, but I mean, it's like 3 o'clock. It's not that early anymore, and it's the day off, so weekend. Anyways, yeah. So with Nothing Left, I have this, like, it's a singing song. It's like almost like an R&B song, I guess, or something like an R&B rap song because I'm singing in it, and then the second verse is a rap verse. And like I was saying, I was listening to the rap verse because I hadn't listened to it since I uploaded it or whatever. I was really just happy with my performance on it, and that's cool. You know what I mean? It sucks when obviously I don't release songs if I'm not super happy with them anymore. But I mean, back when I first started, I was pretty much just releasing whatever I came up with. But with Nothing Left, man, it's like I wanted some people to feature in that verse. I have an open version for the remix if anybody does want to jump on it, but I don't need any features on this song. The song's a really good BraedenV song. It's gonna be one of my bigger songs, I think. It's almost like a bit like a weekend song or something like that. Because like I said, it's like really melodic. There's a lot of singing, and then the second verse is like, I'm really proud of the rap verse I did. It delivers the message. It sticks to the theme of the song. It's got good metaphors. It's got good messaging. It's a very self-empowering song. Or at least the message in the rap verse is very self-empowering. The rest of the song is very emotionally, very distraught. It's a very, emotionally sad song. It's about, it's about a relationship where somebody just takes and takes. It's about, the allegory is about being shipwrecked and being lost at sea and having everything taken, right? Like, you lost everything, and you're just adrift. That's kind of the allegory and the metaphor I use for the song, but the message, the allegory is about, people and relationships and emotion, and about how life can take everything from you or leave you with nothing, or at least leave you without the results you wanted or expected, or leaves you in a place where you might be uncertain or afraid when you don't know what the future is. Nothing Left's about that. So the rap verse is empowering. It sends a message of, find your purpose or make your purpose. It's kind of similar to The Mountain in that way. A lot of my songs lately have been about spiritual and kind of like emotional messages about empowering yourself when you're feeling certain ways. A lot of the songs are usually emotionally sad or kind of, like I said, distressed, but they're not negative songs, right? That's what's cool about them to me. I like that, the fact that the sad songs are still send a positive message, and usually I deliver that in the rap verse of the song. That's been my style, at least in the last, in The Mountain and in this one. So both of them, and it's kind of fun because I don't know if people are paying attention to this journey we're on with these songs, but I started in 2020 with Chasing Planes, and then in the course of the Chasing Planes EP, the narrative, the first song is about good life, chasing your dreams, and Ghost is essentially about crash landing and being haunted, and then No Limits, the third song of the Chasing Planes EP, is like kind of back to form, and it's like you got your wings back. That's why it's such a celebratory, victorious song, because you're flying again. And then I released The Mountain, and The Mountain is like this major obstacle in the path. You know what I mean? It's this major obstacle that seems insurmountable. And then with Nothing Left, it's kind of like the next stage in that journey. Maybe we got past that mountain, and now there's an ocean, and it's a storm. You know what I mean? What's up, Lee Rosevere? Thanks for joining the chat, man. I'm just talking about my new song, Nothing Left. So yeah, the allegories that I'm using in the lyrics are really enjoyable to me because obviously we live on Prince Edward Island, and there's a history of shipwrecks and obviously the ferries and boats and fishermen, and we don't go a year without hearing the tragic story of someone losing their lives off the coast. So Nothing Left really touches on that sense of loss and that sense of like I said, being adrift and lost at sea and emotionally like searching for something, you know what I mean, something to grab onto. That's why I like Nothing Left, because it's kind of, and it really delivers that atmosphere, because like I said earlier in my other podcast about it, we added an SOS signal in the bridge underneath some of the layers, like a Morse code SOS, and we added rain sound effects and thunderclaps and waves, sounds of waves crashing. And the outro of the song has a full 30-35 seconds of just rain and wind and thunder and waves. You really, if you're wearing headphones in particular, it really feels like you're in a storm. You know what I mean? Or at least beachside, waiting out, a thunderstorm. And it's really, it really puts you in that place, and it puts you in that sense of water and being surrounded by an ocean. So I'm really excited for people to hear Nothing Left, because, like I said, I'm really proud of the allegory that came out of that song. And it's it's got a good, powerful message in the rap verse too. Because the second verse, like I said, I was listening to the rap verse the other night. I don't like to talk up my own rap skills very much, because I'm always the worst rapper in the songs that I have other rappers on. You know what I mean? So, and I'm very humble about my rap skills. I've only been rapping for 2 years. I've been singing for much longer than that, so I'm much more confident in my singing than I am my rapping. But I'm really proud of the rap verse I delivered in this song. I wanted some people to feature in it. I sent out some offers to some artists saying hey, I'd love you to feature on my song. I think you'd be a good fit. Both of them didn't even answer, and they both, they read the message but didn't say anything, which is fine. I know people are busy and they don't necessarily want to get involved in your projects, but it's a bit of a letdown when you're really excited about something and you want to get somebody involved locally that we can both grow from, and they aren't interested in that opportunity or that idea. And like I said, but that's not disheartening to me, because I wrote my verse anyway. I had my version of that rap verse. I just wanted to see if other artists wanted to capitalize on what's a beautiful song. And I think a song that's going to really turn some heads when people hear it. So I'm really proud of the verse that I put on it, because I think my flow is one of my best rap flows to date. The lyricism and the message in it is really intent, and it fits the theme of the song while still juxtaposing the melodic parts, because the melodic parts of the song are very distraught and sad lyrics about having everything taken from you and being lost, essentially, and then and shipwrecked. And then the rap verse is very self-empowering and about saying yeah, you're shipwrecked, but you're not done. You haven't, it's not over or whatever. And you got to fight, the waves, and you got to get yourself to a better place or whatever. And you know what I mean. So it's kind of cool that that's the reason I like these R&B, hip hop kind of rap songs. It's a weird in between space of R&B and rapping, because these songs, they kind of blend the two, right? It's got a hip hop beat, usually like a trap beat or a straight up, a lot of them are just poppy beats really, or dance floor beats kind of thing. But a little up tempo, but you have very beautiful melodies and a sing along chorus that people can really grab onto, and then you've got a rap verse which really has a lot of intent and attitude, and it really gives a good, like I said, a diverse sound. You know what I mean? And that's one of my favorite things about some of my other songs, like Good Life. Good Life is very fun to me because everybody can sing along to it, but then there's also some really fun rap verses too. And the rapping's never usually about, the braggadocio that's typical in hip hop. It's usually very message driven, and that's always been one of the key things in BraedenV music, is that you're not getting something that's not who I am. You know what I mean? Maybe someday if I'm making a ton of money and I decide to wear some chains or whatever, you'll hear me rapping about that. But for now, it's I'm really writing in this conceptual space where I like to ask questions in the music, and a lot of them are spiritual questions. Like with The Mountain, it was essentially a spiritual song, and Nothing Left is spiritual in a lot of ways too. It's really kind of like an existential song. You know what I mean? Like what's left of you, and who are you when everything is taken from you? You know what I mean? It kind of asks that question, in a sense, because that's what kind of being the allegory of being shipwrecked is. It's like you lost everything and you're adrift and don't know where the future is going to take you. So like I said, I like adding the self-empowering messages because to me that I don't like to make a sad song that's just a sad song. I like to give people something that they can take from it to make them feel better too. You know what I mean? And that's just a personal thing. And I think that's probably because I'm a person who's had plenty of sad times in my life where I wanted somebody to give me, maybe an empowering message or something. You know what I mean? So you got to find that message yourself. That's what creating music's about, right? Creating the things you need to hear. And other people will resonate with that, I think, in a lot of cases. Obviously, it's not all music's about. You can do whatever you want with music. It's an art form, but for me, I really like healing and therapy with music. I think that's the beautiful side of things. That's the part that resonates with me most, is the songs that are about real emotions that, and to be fair, I don't think I think if you write songs based from emotion, you're going to go further in general because people can grab onto that. And, we've had so many changes in the music industry and in the world in the last 150 years, but some things have stayed constant, and that's, human emotions. Almost all human experiences involve loss and joy and dreams and goals and hopes and motivations and, like I said, fears, and we all go through the spectrum in life. And so if you're writing on that spectrum, I think your music in general will probably resonate more with people. And as far as I'm concerned, for me, I'm trying to write messages that resonate with people. A lot of people are, making songs to have fun, and that's great too, or making songs to make money, or making songs to get girls. You know what I mean? There's a lot of reasons people make music. But for me, it's very much almost I don't know. I don't want to say it's like a redemption story, but like I really wasted a lot of time in this world, not reaching for something more. And so for me, I want to remind people that it's important to reach for something more in their life. I'm finally, and in the last few years since I started this music journey, I feel like I righted the ship, and that I was, I was on the wrong path in life, or I wasn't exactly going in the right direction, or definitely not the direction I wanted to go in. Not that it was necessarily a bad direction, just that it was the wrong direction for what I wanted, and for my own personal happiness. So I think part of the reason that I write some of the music I do is to help empower people, to remind them of the important things in life. That's why I wrote Good Life. Essentially, it was a song about, hey, chase your dreams, you know what I mean? Even if they seem out of reach, that's not the point, you know what I mean? The point isn't whether you get there or not to that good life in the end. The point is you're chasing that plane, trying to get, to wherever it's going. So, a lot of my songs have those kind of concepts that maybe you're, at first glance, may not be as obvious. I'm sure plenty of writers have this exact same feeling where when they write something, a lot of people go like, oh yeah, that's a fun vibe and stuff, but they're not really thinking that much more deeply in it. I really have layers to my songs, I feel, that I don't know if people are recognizing yet. Maybe they will in time. I certainly recognize it, and when people do notice those things, I enjoy that, because that's where the discussion comes from in music. It's not just about that surface level stuff about, hey, why'd you say this lyric, about that person, or, there's a lot of hip-hop that's very culture-based lyricism, and that can be shocking or funny or political or fun or whatever, whatever it may be. But for me, I'm not focusing on the pop culture stuff. I'm focusing on the constants usually, and that's why I think that Kanye West Donda album resonated with me a bit too. That's an album that's literally about his mother and about his relationship with God. So whether or not you like the individual tracks or you like Kanye or whatever, that's entirely your reality. But and I'm not the hugest Kanye fan myself, but that album I think really touched on some very important messaging and or important themes. I think that's why it resonated with me, at least, more than some other albums that came around the same time that were a bit more shallow in content. So yeah, I got a local rapper named Jaydiss to hop on a remix of my song No Limits. That song was from my Chasing Planes EP, came out 2021. No, I felt like my Chasing Planes EP was a trio of songs, Good Life being one of them, that they're very slow burns in the way that when they first came out, I don't think many people really, I mean, nobody was paying attention anyway, not that many people are now, but the point is, I was even less established in the local music scene and in the East Coast music scene when I released them, so obviously there wasn't much of a head-turning moment when they came out, but since they came out, I've obviously performed for, a year and a half with some of those songs, doing various stages. It's getting windy. I hope my phone doesn't fall over. But I performed, those songs for my Chasing Planes EP. I made a music video for them. I performed them locally, but a lot of times they're starting to get a decent amount of plays on the various streaming platforms. And I feel like it's been a slow burn of getting them kind of recognized in a local level. I'm really trying to. I think Ghost in particular was an emotional song that a lot of people need to hear in this local level. I know a lot of people in the PEI hip hop community, and hip hop in general tends to be a more impoverished musical genre. Like the people that are participating in the genre tend to not have as much money or financial stability as people that maybe are participating in the more traditional music scenes, and that's just perception too. In some cases, obviously, people are struggling no matter what music genre they make, but at least I think it's fairly obvious that with hip hop, you're dealing with a lot more impoverished and struggling communities. And one of the things that I think is important to me in my song Ghost was, telling people that I've been through these same kind of things they've been through, whether that's toxic relationships or insecurity issues or abuse issues or mental health. That song really delved into some of the darkest parts of the human mind and relationships. And but the important part was that the message was, you can identify what these issues are and you can empower yourself over them, and you don't have to be haunted by them, right? So anyways, with my whole Chasing Planes EP, all those songs, they were designed to send some positive messages to people, and I feel like people started to get those messages after I performed them a bit, and people are kind of getting used to some of these songs in the hip hop scene that, maybe at first were like, who's this BraedenV guy that's showing up and singing while we're all rapping, you know what I mean? But I'm singing and rapping, and I think the message is starting to come across. I think a lot of the people in the community are starting to, I don't know, maybe give me a bit more, at least they're paying a bit more attention to the music, I guess, which is cool. Because, I love paying attention to their music. There's a lot of really great performers on the scene, and it's cool to get that mutual respect and that, peer social proof, you know what I mean? Social proofing, where, your peers are also recognizing that you're making quality work. I think that's really one of the first indicators that you're doing well in music, and most professional spaces, is that other professionals are recognizing your work for the quality that it might be. And I'm not saying I'm writing amazing songs, hit songs or anything, obviously not, but the point is, the people in the space that I share are, have their due respect like I have mine for them, and that's cool. That's a really happy experience for me to kind of go through that. But anyways, so I had Jaydiss here hop on the remix of No Limits, which is the third song from my Chasing Planes EP. It's basically just kind of a song about, it's actually a very fun song. It's one of the reasons I sent it out to some rappers for remixing, because they can throw their verse on it. It's a very simple concept to write about. It's a very victorious song. It's a celebratory song. It's a song about saying, obviously it's called No Limits, so you can imagine what the content's about. It's about pretty much, you go as far as you want to in this, or as far as, you allow yourself to. So, and that's in all aspects of life. So anyways, Jaydiss threw down a verse on it, and we released it on his YouTube channel and on my SoundCloud channel. And I'm going to save it for the Spotify release until I get a couple other remixes back from other artists. I'm hoping to get a bunch of local rappers to participate on a couple of these remixes, and then I'll release them as a remix EP on my Spotify. And I think that'd be a really fun experience and cool for all the artists involved, because it involves just mutual growth and co-promotion in a healthy way, right? If everybody's participating in the music, everybody has some skin in the game, everybody wants to talk about it, and everybody's excited about it, you know what I mean? And for me, I don't care about being the center of attention. I don't care about being the star of the show. I want the music to be the star of the show, and I want to make music that's, resonates with people and that people are happy to participate in and be part of. And that's how you get people to come out and be, come out to your shows, and how you get them to form an emotional bond to the music is, that it becomes relevant to their lives, even if it's just for a couple months or a year, and then they'll always have that memory, and they'll maybe listen to that song down the road because of that. But anyways, the point is, I wanted some people to hop on these remixes so that they can be involved in the music that I've made, because I know a lot of them are digging it. I know a lot of rappers in particular have been telling me hey man, those are, really fun choruses, and I like those songs. And the part of the reason I'm doing the remixes is because I've gotten good reviews from the rappers who like the beats and they want to, put their stamp on it. So for me, it's really exciting to hear other people's takes on the music that I've created in the last couple of years, because everybody has their own style, and for me, it's like I'm not listening to my own song anymore when some other rapper's rapping on that verse or whatever, right? And it creates a lot of opportunities for live stuff where if they happen to be able to make it to the show, I can invite them up for that remix version of the song instead of just my own version of it, There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of cross-promotional and mutual gainful benefits of working together in collaborative senses, and remixes like this are the easiest way. All I do is send them the song with the open verse. They just have their 16 bars, and they can sing on the chorus or in the intro or ad-lib or whatever they want in other spots. But the point is, most of them keep it simple and throw down that 16-bar second verse, and then it's BraedenV does first verse in the chorus, and featuring the rapper on the second verse. It's very common in hip-hop, and it's a very easy way to have fast turnaround on songs. All I do now whenever I make a song is I strip that second verse, and I release the song, my own version of it, obviously, the BraedenV version, and then I can release the BraedenV remix featuring XYZ rappers. I can release 10 remixes if 10 rappers want to rap on that beat, you know what I mean? Or if I really wanted, I can splice them all together and make it a long track, like a cypher style thing, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of just opportunity, like I said, to get more value out of the music and get more longevity out of it, and like I said, other people can participate, and it just becomes a beautiful thing rather than just, hey, I'm releasing this music, come pay attention to it, and then a month or two later I've got a new song coming out and you can forget about the other one. It's about, like I said, it creates an additional way for people to experience the music, just like a stripped down version might, or a live version might, or a cover might, you know what I mean? It's very similar in that way. So, like I said, it's all about, these days, with the way social media works and the way these algorithms work, you need to be consistently promoting. And obviously, when you release a song, you don't want people to be going, hey, listen to my song, listen to my song, listen to my song every week to people until the next song, and then it's listen to my song, listen to my song. You know what I mean? You don't want to have that repetition in your content. What you want is to create new avenues and new interesting ways for people for people to get exposed to the music. You know what I mean? So, for me, I think remixing with other artists is a great way for, first of all of us to grow together. Like I said, there's nothing better than mutual growth in a music community. We both are posting about it. We're both tagging each other. We're both, building, working, feeding the algorithm, as they say, right? So, anyways, I'm excited to see other rappers like Jaydiss take that plunge. I'm glad Jaydiss was the first one to. Jaydiss is an indigenous hip hop artist who I feel like doesn't really get a lot of opportunities on the scene. He's a bit like explicit in the way that, I don't know if it's hip hop in general, or if it's, I'm not going to say it's this scene because this scene is very inclusive. I think it's probably part of hip-hop in general's culture. Women and some minorities just don't get the same opportunities as the men do. And that's, something I like to try and be part of that change, you know what I mean? I don't think that's fair. There's so many good female artists and good non-binary artists and artists from different cultures and different walks of life that deserve to be heard, and they have beautiful perspectives and beautiful music of their own, and obviously, like, what is music other than a melting pot, especially hip hop? What is music other than a melting pot of different cultures coming together to create something? You know what I mean? The whole history of sampling and the history of hip hop comes from multiple cultures. As much as a lot of people will claim its origination maybe to one culture or whatever, that's fine. And there is some cultures, of course, that have much more deep-rooted hip hop, you know what I mean? Bases or whatever that come from deeper in the origins of hip hop, I guess. But look, some of the most influential early hip hop songs were produced by Rick Rubin. The Wu-Tang Clan were all influenced by Asian culture. There's just a lot of cross-pollination from other cultures and genres in hip hop. Like I said, with the sampling, people are sampling all kinds of genres and rapping over all kinds of different beats. This is why I love hip-hop, and I talk about this pretty frequently on the podcast, is about how hip-hop is such a melting pot. Doesn't matter what you do in music, hip-hop can usually find an avenue to make it a good song. So what's your skill set? You know what I mean? We can make music no matter what, you know what I mean? Because if you're a country singer, we'll make you sing on that hook, and it'll be a country vibe-ish hip-hop song or something, you know what I mean? Like Lil Nas X did, or like Kane Brown and Black Bear do, or, the list goes on. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a female falsetto singer, we can get you on that chorus, and you can, like a Rihanna or something like that. You know what I mean? Where they're singing a very beautiful melodic chorus, and then the rappers can rap on the verses. What kind of rapper are you? Are you a speed rapper? Are you a mumble rapper? Are you weed rapper, you know what I mean? Are you a rapper who likes, you know what I mean? What's your content? We can find ways to fit it into all kinds of music, you know what I mean? And hip hop is just great for that. I don't know if there's a lot of other genres that can do that without losing a lot of their core. You know what I mean? As soon as you put a rap verse in a rock song, it becomes a rap rock song. You know what I mean? It becomes a different thing, and suddenly it's part of the hip hop genre. You know what I mean? It's weird. Linkin Park. A lot of people might not consider them a hip hop band, but I consider Linkin Park hip hop because they had a literal DJ scratching on a lot of their songs. They may have electric guitars, and you know, some songs have screaming. I mean, they're a rock band for sure. A lot of their songs are rock too, and they have ballads, and they have one of the beautiful things about Linkin Park, I guess, to go off on a tangent, is that they did everything too. It's one of the things that I try to do with my music, is have a diverse sound and a diversity of sounds. I want you to be able to put on BraedenV music no matter what mood you're in. Linkin Park is like that too. They have a lot of music that pretty much no matter what mood you're in, you might be able to find something that suits that vibe or that feeling or whatever. And that's one of the reasons they're one of my biggest influences. My song Ghost is literally written like a Linkin Park song. If you listen to Ghost, you'll go, oh yeah, that's Linkin Park. You'll hear it, I guarantee you. In the guitar, in the beat structure, not so much in the chorus, because I would say it's maybe more like a Mike Shinoda influenced song than a Linkin Park influenced song, and Mike Shinoda is the main writer and rapper and one of the songwriters of Linkin Park, as many people know. But Chester Bennington tends to be a lot more the focus of Linkin Park in people's memories. But I would say I'm much more like Mike Shinoda than Chester Bennington in the way that I'm definitely more influenced by his style of stuff, which is obviously the rap stuff, but with some singing too. But you know, I'm not the best singer in the room. I'm not the best rapper in the room. So I have to play to my strengths, and that's when I'm with other rappers. I have to be the singer usually, because a lot of rappers can't sing, and if I'm in a room full of singers, then I can be the rapper because a lot of them can't rap. You know what I mean? So it's all about playing to my strengths. I'm a bit of a jack of all trades in this music game. So whenever I work with other people, it's about where do I fit in, because that's what hip hop's all about: finding ways to fit in, and finding ways for other people to fit in. Right? That's like I was saying. So it's cool, you know, that Jaydiss was willing to hop onto my song, and we're gonna push that and promote it a bit, because he deserves it. He deserves to be heard. He's an artist that releases pretty frequently. You know, I was checking out his channel. He released something like 12 days ago before he and I did our thing. So, you know, he's working, and that's cool, because, you know, whether or not you're releasing the greatest music in the world, if you're working on it and you're putting in your time, you're building your craft, you're going to get better, and eventually you're going to see results, hopefully. And what your definition of results is going to differ depending on who you are. I'm sure Jaydiss's expectations are different than my own expectations. So, and you know what? He was just stoked to be part of the remix. You know what I mean? And that makes me so happy, because we shouldn't have to talk about a price tag, or we shouldn't have to talk about a bunch of bullshit if you're just going to hop on my track to put down a verse, man. We're just trying to make some fun music here. None of us are making a ton of money. And those that claim they are, you know, in this local area, they're usually lying. Like, I pay attention to these other rappers' numbers. I follow them on Spotify. I see what the numbers they're doing. I can do the math, you know what I mean? And I know none of them are making so much money that they can charge, you know, $300 for you to do a verse for them, or vice versa, or whatever, you know what I mean? I think that's silliness. Let's make great music, and then let's worry about the price tag, and let's worry about creating something, you know what I mean? And I understand, obviously, you know, time is money, and people deserve to get paid for their work. I'm not trying to cheap out on that. Trust me, I pay more than most people for my production and for my stuff, and I think it shows in the music and in the sound. I pay a lot for my production. I do a lot of post-production work. And shout out to the Hill Sound Studio, Adam Glant, for having the patience to work with me when he doesn't even like hip-hop that much. But the point is, you know, it's cool to see people get invested without worrying about getting paid first. You know what I mean? Like, what value are you bringing to the music beyond just putting your sound on it? Like, you know what I mean? Are you going to promote it? Because if you're charging me $300, that $300, I can promote my own song with $300. I can make a music video with $300. I don't need anybody to feature on my songs. You know what I mean? I'd like them to, because we can both grow. We can both get something better out of it, right? That's what growth in music is. A lot of times these days is collaboration. A lot of the biggest songs these days are collaborations. I mean, we're seeing it more and more and more. How many, you know, songs that are featuring X on, you know, on the track, and a lot of times it's a singer and a rapper, or it's two rappers, or, you know what I mean, you get sometimes it's two singers or whatever too, for sure. But I think in particular right now, if you want to make music that's really gonna like, I'm trying to make music that's gonna be successful. I want to be on the radio. I want to be played in clubs, and I want to be played in cars. I want to be able to tour. So for me, I want to make accessible music. I'm not trying to make necessarily pop music, because I like hip hop, and I'm making, you know, hip hop beats, and but what I'm trying to make is music that, for somebody who may not love rap, they can still access it because there's a catchy chorus and there's singing and there's melody and there's harmonies and there's, you know what I mean? So ultimately for me, it's just important for people to be enthusiastic about just working on something, you know what I mean? If you got to get paid, for sure, especially if you're a producer or whatever. What's up, Physics? Welcome to the chat, my guy. You know, if you're a producer and stuff, you get paid for your time 100%. I'm not saying that, but if you're just a rapper locally, like, look, man, put your verse on and I'm going to have you out at shows and you're going to get more exposure that way, too, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm just frustrated a bit because, like I said, I've been, 2 years in this, and it's pretty difficult for me to get features from people. A lot of people are enthusiastic, but they're not, willing to put the time in, and it doesn't take a ton of time to do a 16-bar verse, you know what I mean? But look, I help. Every time that I've done something for somebody else, though, it's gone well. Explicit and I got a Music PEI Award nomination for the song that we wrote together, Trapped in My Head. Shout out to Explicit. Like I said earlier, she's one of those artists that doesn't get the recognition and the opportunity she deserves in the scene. So I'm really happy I'll be able to have her out at my show, I think in August, to perform. Because she was an Iron Mike runner-up. She's an award-nominated artist herself. She deserves to be somebody that other people coming up in the scene should be reaching out to try and get opportunities to work with so that they can learn from her, you know what I mean? I think a lot of times in this, I want features from people so I can learn from them in the studio. Sorry, I got a bug flying around me. A lot of times I want to work with these people so we can both grow and we can both learn from each other, you know what I mean? I think I have a lot of skills that these rappers can learn from, it's particularly in the chorus building, particularly in the hooks. A lot of them are great rappers. Like I said, most of the time when I'm in the room with these rappers, I'm not the best rapper in the room, but and I'm not trying to compete with them anyway in that way, but the point is, I think a lot of them can learn from my songwriting, and I can learn a lot from their bars, you know what I mean, and from their experience, especially if they're more experienced than me in the scene. You know what I mean? Like, anyways, trying to think what else is going on. Let me see, I got a little list here of things I was supposed to talk about. Mostly went over them. Yeah, we got that show July 1st. Prototype's rolling live album release tour, I guess. He's doing a bunch of shows kind of thing to promote his live album. So we're just, coming out, doing a couple songs for him. Canada Day, if you want to come out, wear merch, or wear red and white Canada colors to get a discount at the door. It's going to be a really fun show. Bubba's Lounge, Charlottetown. Like I said, Prototype's headlining. Select a Chevron will be performing. I think Charlie Roos will be performing. Adjust the Facts are performing. SNK, he's a rapper from Small Island Dreamers. He'll be performing. I think Fats is going to be performing. He's coming up from Alberton, or coming down from Alberton. So I'm really excited for that. He always puts on a dope show. He's like a real rapper, you know what I mean? Real rap. He ain't like me. You know what I mean? He and I, we are not the same. But shout outs to Fats. I'm actually going to get him on my No Limits remix, I think, too. So it'll be cool to hear what he does with that. If he does get around to it, it'll be cool to see his work. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else we got going on. Nothing left. I'm working on. Oh hey, I got a visitor here. Thanks you. Oh, thank you. This is Willie. He's okay. All right, Willie, chill out. Come on. Why you can't be making it with me on live Instagram? Anyways, he wants to play fetch, so I should probably wrap this up. So yeah, anyways, nothing left. I'm still working on. I had to adjust the release date a little bit and set it back a little bit just because of some. There was a mastering issue. Seemed like I was peaking in some parts of the. Oh man, my hair's a mess because of this sweat. I was peaking in some parts of the. Oh shit, it's getting windy. So that sucks. I had to, cancel the release and stuff like that and restart it. So I had to set it back a bit to make sure it has its time to get looked at, possibly by Spotify editorial people if I'm lucky enough to win that lottery, which I doubt I will. But the point is, you still gotta make sure you cash your ticket when you got it. So yeah, nothing left. I think that'll come out mid-July. I'll make sure I perform it live at the July 1st show. So for people that are able to make it out to that, you'll be able to see the live premiere of that. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Nothing Left. I talked about it earlier. I won't get into it again, but I'll have to do a music video for that. Maybe, go out to a beach or whatever and tear up my clothing and get all sandy and look like I just washed up on shore or something like that. You know what I mean? And make a real dramatic video in the rain or something. It should be fun. But yeah, so thanks everybody that tuned in. Thanks everybody that's been checking out the Chasing Planes podcast. Make sure you check it out on YouTube. I'll be uploading these IG lives onto YouTube as part of the podcast from now on. Because the dog, not this dog here, another dog chewed through my through one of my cables on my recording setup inside my room there. So I'm just gonna be recording from the phone for a little bit till I replace that cable. Just been lazy to get it done. It's a very specific USB to fucking whatever cable. I don't even remember what the hell it's called. So anyways, I got to get that looked at before I get back to just the recorded podcasts without the video. But I think it's better to do video podcasts anyway, right? So I'll probably just keep doing them this way from now on. I think people prefer this way, and we can get the drop-ins and stuff like that, and some guests very soon. I've been really lazy about pursuing more people to get on this thing to do visits and stuff. Or drop-ins. One of the reasons I started the podcast was to get local artists on and stuff like that, and artists I know to talk about their music and stuff, right? I wanted the focus to be their music, not my music. I seem to come on here a lot and complain about shit, and that's not the point. The point is to talk about the music. So let's get that going real soon. Physics, if you want to do one sometime, let me know, my guy. We'll schedule something. We'll do an hour or something like that, or 45 minutes, and we can talk about your music and stuff. And that should be fun. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Chasing Planes Podcast 7, BraedenV. Don't forget, come out July 1st, Canada's Day, Bubba's Lounge. And then I've also got a show August 6th. I'll be headlining my first show August 6th. I'll be premiering my music video for The Mountain, I think, then too. So I'm really looking forward to that. It should be a really great night. I'm going to have a lot of local artists on that bill. I'm going to try and put on a 4-hour show if Bubba's is going to permit. And that will allow me to have 11 or 10 acts or something like that. You know what I mean? I can have a bunch of people do 15-minute sets with that, and still have time for me to do a full set. So I'm really excited about my show, and being able to finally put on my own one where I'm headlining, you know what I mean? Like I said earlier, I'm not necessarily the guy who wants all the spotlight and stuff, but when I've got new music coming out and stuff like that in a music video, that's the time I want to take center stage a little bit and kind of show off, the work I've been investing in and stuff like that, Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll do another one probably next week, maybe Friday or something like that, maybe earlier in the week, depending on my schedule. I'm still figuring it out, when the best days to do this and stuff are for me. So we'll be back. BraedenV, thanks for tuning in, guys. And make sure you check out Nothing Left's preview on my YouTube channel on SoundCloud. And check out the the No Limits remix, featuring Jaydiss on his YouTube channel and on my SoundCloud. Take care, guys. BraedenV out.